He's got the toys. He's got showmanship. And he's got sex appeal. Ladies and gentlemen, from the great Southwest, here's the guru of gadgets, the dapper and dashing Don Baine, the Gadget Professor. Gadget Professor.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Gadget Professor Show. My name is Don Baine, and of course, I am the resident Gadget Professor. Thank you so much for tuning in. It is September 11th, and right off the bat, my prayers and thoughts to all those people who were involved in that horrible tragedy back then. We are on episode 173. Thank you so much for tuning in. As you know, the Gadget Professor comes up with a brand new show every Thursday evening, Arizona time, somewhere between 7 and 10 o'clock. Somewhere in there I will post the show. What you want to do, folks, is go to our brand new webpage, which is still a work in process. That would be at thegadgetprofessor.com. You can see it's a new website. I have not had time to put photos up or enhance it. That's in process. It will look better and better and better, but this is what the new website looks like. Of course, you can follow us on iTunes. You can get us on the Roku box, pretty much anything that picks up an RSS feed, you can get the Gadget Professor. Main thing you want to do is just go to the show notes, and now we have that actually marked very clean, I think, somewhere here. I can't even find it myself. I think it says show notes. Let's see. Here it is, show notes. Newsletter. So if you go right there and just click on newsletter, put your email in, every Thursday evening, as soon as the show is posted, you will be receiving the show notes, which is everything highlighted that we talked about in each episode. It's totally free. I don't use your email for anything else except Gadget Professor show notes. So there you go. You also might want to follow us on Rebel Mouse. I'll mention that briefly. If you get the show notes, this will all be in there. But Rebel Mouse is what I actually use because we have a lot of bloggers out there for us on Twitter, and it takes my Twitter feed and actually puts a pictorial. So everybody knows that the new iPhone came out and the new iPhone Watch, and that's already up there. And this changes. It's dynamic. It changes every half hour. So two things. If you want to email me, you can email the Gadget Professor at thegadgetprofessor@gmail.com. That would be thegadgetprofessor@gmail.com. You can also follow us on Twitter, and that's very easy. That is just at Gadget Professor, at Gadget Professor. Well, we have an interesting show for you today. We do have a gadget, and it's an interesting story, and we'll get to that in a moment. But first, let's talk about who has been hacked. Well, the network access is suspended, so I don't know who was hacked there. Let me see if we can reload that one. I don't know. I guess not. Yes, we can reload that. Here we go. Hacking cloud hangs over today's Apple announcement. That was actually 2 days ago, but I'll read a very brief snippet of this. A lot of people didn't realize this. Apple will hold, again, this was on Tuesday, the new announcement about the new iPhone. We all know that, and the iWatch. But what people didn't know is that they have been in process of being hacked. And I'm not sure what the status of this is, but the iCloud, where all the celebrities had their photos and naughty types of pictures and things, was actually hacked, and it's deeper than they've revealed. So we'll have to keep an eye on that and see what actually comes out of it. Here's one that kind of you scratch your head and go, are you kidding me? 5 million, that's 5 million with an M, Gmail passwords hacked and leaked. And here's an article that you can actually check and see if your Gmail account was hacked. But almost 5 million Gmail addresses and their passwords have been compromised and leaked on a Russian Bitcoin forum. Administrators on the forum have removed passwords from the text file, but the internet is forever holding your username and passwords, blah, blah, blah. You can read the article, but you definitely want to check to see if your Gmail password is safe, because you don't want that to be leaked out. And this also tells you how to do it, this article. And This one is another shocking thing, but doesn't surprise me at all. You've heard of Healthcare.gov. That's the website that was supposed to be up by X time and never was by your United States government. And then they realized that they didn't make the deadline, so they put it out, and then it didn't work. And then the President of the United States said he would take care of it and fixed it. But guess what? It's hackable. Malware was uploaded to the healthcare.gov test server that was supposed to be connected to the internet and was secured with the manufacturer's default password. But don't sweat it. We were told that nothing was stolen. It only took 7 weeks to discover the intrusion. Too bad the pack of white hat hackers hadn't warned us what would happen. Oh, wait. This goes on to tell that it actually was hacked and can be hacked, and several companies who are trusted in this area of hacking say there's no question about this website. It is insecure, 100% insecure. So that makes you feel quite comfortable if you have to use the healthcare.gov website. But nothing I can do about that. I just bring you the news. And speaking of news, this one's kind of it's not a shocker, but you just wonder why a company like Amazon, that I think is run so well. I use Amazon a lot to make purchases. Their delivery is phenomenal. Their customer service is phenomenal. Amazon is so good that if they send you something, and I order a lot of different crazy parts and connectors and things, if it's not right or doesn't work, you literally call them up and they instantly, no questions asked, you can return that. And a lot of companies do not do that. So I like Amazon as far as that goes. And again, I think it's a well-run company. I think they're new on technology. They're trying desperately, at least experimenting with, and they're pushing that envelope ahead by doing this, is to use the automatic propeller robots, as I call them, to deliver, the drones to deliver your package, which I think is a great idea. I don't know how they're going to implement it, but that's the FAA's problem. But in any event, their Amazon Fire phone, when it first came out, they had all kinds of information and public relations announcements, publicity surrounding the announcement of the Amazon Fire phone. It was $200. But now you can get that same phone for 99 cents. That's 99 cents with a 2-year contract, of course, from AT&T. But the e-commerce giant said Monday that it's now offering a 32 gigabyte version of its first smartphone, which went on sale just 2 months ago for 99 cents with a 2-year contract, down from $200. 1 year of Amazon Prime is thrown in, and that's a short-term promotion. And also you get a year of Prime, which is nice. That means you get free shipping or 2-day shipping on anything that you order that is marked Prime. And Amazon also slashed the price of its 64 gig Fire phone to $100 with a 2-year contract, down from $300. This is offered exclusively through AT&T, but the bottom line is this phone was a monstrous flop. End of story. And now they're essentially giving away the phones. And I don't know if I would buy the phone even for 99 cents, given its imperfections, if you will. But how can a company like Amazon just totally miss it in today's technological world when they see what other companies have? Don't they do testing? It just boggles my mind that this could happen. But there it is. It happened. So let's move on. I'm always talking about preparedness, and this is National Preparedness Month or something like that. And frequently I'll do different types of shows on power supply backups or how to build your own water-proof container, things like that in cases of emergency or a national emergency, which is going to happen at some point in time. It may not be, I hope it's not a war, but it could be things like the power grid going on, and I am working on an episode all about the power grid, which I think you'll find very interesting. But that's in rough shape, to say the least. But all kinds of things could happen in your local community. Could be a storm, could be a snowstorm, whatever, where you're not going to be able to get to the store to get food, to get water. So, I'm not overly hyperventilating about this or overly concerned, but it is a concern, and I want everybody to be as safe as they can. So this is serious business. You have Sam's Club now, Augustin Farms Emergency Food Storage Kit. I mean, 1 year, one person, $1,099, and they give you a year's supply of food. It's a 1-year supply of food for one person. There are 5,196 total servings. It's 1,014 average calories per day. You're not going to get fat. I should probably buy this and go on this anyway. And you have 86 number 10 sized cans, and it includes a wheat grinder. So I haven't looked specifically what it's giving you, but it gives you a description of how much food you would need and all kinds of safety information. Also, they're now carrying all kinds of emergency apparatus. So here you can buy a 30-day food storage emergency all-in-one container for $93. For $2,000, you can get a one-year 4-person kit of food. That's 4 people it will feed for 1 year for $2,898. And here's a water container. We talked about that a week or two ago, how you build your own water container to give you safe filtered water. If your water becomes contaminated, you can buy the whole kit for $129. So I think this is interesting information. Here it tells you that it's grains, oats, rice, vegetables, fruits, dairy, proteins, so on and so forth. So check that out. It's not crazy. It's not off the wall, because God forbid something happens and you're not prepared, then shame on you. So the Gadget Professor, again, wants to keep everybody safe. So this next gadget, and this is a kicker of a gadget. I don't have the sound hooked up. I'm going to run just a little bit of the video. And this is a cool gadget. This is a very cool gadget. This is actually a video projector that's robotically run from your Android phone. So here it comes into the room now. That's the projection. So this will go into any room and project a skylight, project a video, whatever it is that you want. This will, there it comes, there it is. Robbie Robot. So this is a cool little gadget, and you can control it from your iPhone and change the picture, change what you're watching. You could use it as a monitor to watch the baby, and it's put out by a company called Keeker. So I'll stop the video somewhere here. There we go. And I'll put this on the show notes. It's a very cool device. It didn't give me a heck of a lot of information about how many lumens it is or what the contrast ratio is. And I think it might be still in beta, although you can buy one. But it's interesting technology, and I'm sure in years to come there'll be a lot of these things and a heck of a lot cheaper. Now, let's talk about security, which we always talk about here. And here's a free app for 30 days. Let's put it that way. You do have to purchase this, but you can actually run a test on this website to see if you have any nasty malware. But it's called FSecure Safe. It's internet security for all devices. Stay safe all the time, 24 hours a day. You can manage this with one password. You can download a free trial for 30 days. And it gives you all kinds of comparisons as to what this does opposed to other products of that nature. It's quite interesting. You can also buy a subscription for $39 a year, so it's not that expensive, but it's cloud-based protection, worry-free surfing, safe for your children to use, secure online banking backup, and it will exploit protection against malware, and it's always up to date. So you may want to check this out, and somewhere on the site, if you scroll through it, it'll actually let you do a free online check of your computer. So it's called FSecure. It's relatively new, and it looks pretty neat. Now, this is something that I think everybody is probably aware of, but you don't know like what I can do about it. But I'm going to give you this page in the show notes, but Google tracks all kinds of information that you don't even know about. And you can go on to this page. Okay, it's called, I think, Google Handle. I have the URL here that I'll actually give you in the show notes. But what you do is you go in and create an archive. So let's say if you have any kind of a Gmail account or multiple Gmail accounts, you can do it for each one. But you can go in and create what's called an archive, and this is all totally free. And this will create an archive file in the form of a zip file. And what it does is it searches Google completely and tells you all the information, private information about you that you didn't know that Google collects. And I suggest that everybody do this. It takes a couple minutes, but it's well worth the time. It actually saves your mail, your calendar, your contacts, what's on your drive, your voicemail messages, your social profiles, your Hangouts, your Google Circles, your Google Stream, your Google Plus, your Google Pages, your Blogger, on and on and on. I mean, it's a lot. Even your bookmarks, your YouTube, your Google Photos, your Google Playbooks. It's quite extensive. And it will give you a printout of exactly what Google knows about you based on what you provided them. And many times you're not even aware that you provided them this information. So this is totally free. And again, I'll give you the URL on the show notes. And I think that everybody should do that. Now, once you find out what they have or what they don't have, you got to understand that they're not the only ones keeping information on you. The question is, who has what and what do they have on me and how do I get rid of it? Well, that's where this app comes in. It's called a CountKiller. This is actually free, and this will basically provide you with the instructions on how to remove the information that's been stored on public about you on probably the most popular websites. So like Facebook's Windows Live, Hotmail Live, Twitter, MSN, Messenger, Google, and many more. So you can see right here that there's Facebook, Zoosk, IMVU, Twitter, WhatsApp, Google, Yahoo, Hotmail, so on and so forth. There's a huge list, Gmail, Dropbox, and this actually will tell you how to delete those accounts permanently and kill all that information that was out there about you that you didn't want, or just close down the account, including Skype. It's all on here, and definitely something you should check out. Easy to use, and it's called a CountKiller. Now, here's a YouTube video that I happened upon, and I'm not going to run the whole thing for you. Actually, I'm not going to run it at all for you for the sake of time, but this shows you how to take a common fork and make a very cool door lock out of it. And this might be handy to keep in your pocketbook or your purse or your briefcase, whatever, when you're traveling and going to hotels or places where you want just some more security. But it actually shows you very simply how to take a common fork, and it goes through how you bend it and break it and actually put it in the door, and it gives you some extra protection. Is it foolproof? No, it's just the extra added protection, and I think it's a real interesting idea, real clever gadget that you can make, and if you're interested in something like that, then check out the video on YouTube. Again, that will all be in the show notes. And now we are going to go to the gadget of the day, which is actually a Toshiba CountKiller portable HDD. It's a portable hard drive. So there's a picture of it, and this is the actual drive right here that I'm holding in my hand. Nothing real special about it. It's 2 terabytes, and this is USB 3. I don't know if you can see there's a different port on the USB 3. I don't have camera 2 set up, but you'll always know that it's USB 3 if there's a little slot in the middle, right vertically down the center of the pin, opposed to USB 2. Now, this USB 3 drive, it's USB 3. It makes it faster to transfer files, to upload and download files. So typically you would want the USB 3 configuration, and it just basically comes with the drive and the cord, which you just plug in here, and away you go. You just plug this into any USB port on your computer or whatever. If you have a Mac Pro or whatever, it doesn't really matter, or a PC, this will work on either. It's 2 terabytes. So what's the big deal? What's so special? Well, by the way, the 3.0 is supposedly downward compatible with 2.0. So if you have an older machine, this will still work, but you won't get the benefit of the USB faster transferred speeds. No big deal either way. So what you need to remember about this that I think is kind of interesting is that the reason I purchased this is because it guaranteed that you'll be able to stream movies live on this actual unit. So again, here's the USB cord, and actually I'm going to try to show you this because there it is. You can actually see the slot right there. You can see the slot. Now Mike is actually working a kind of a neat new, there it is right there. you can see the slot right there. That's USB 3. It will not fit into a regular USB, which is right here. So in any event, what you want to remember is that if it's USB 3, most of these units are downward compatible. So that said, why do I need another external hard drive? Well, the truth of the matter is I don't. But I bought this because it had some interesting options. And you know where I'm going with this. I have been on a quest for probably a year to find a system that will allow me to very easily load movies onto my hard drive or my external hard drive preferably, go onto the internet, the cloud, and stream the movie. Not download the movie, but stream the movie on my iPad or on my smartphone or whatever device I have. Now, for those novices out there, when you hear the word cloud, and everybody I'm sure knows this, but for those people who don't, try to make this easy for you. When you hear the cloud, you have to think of the word internet connectivity. So that the cloud is, think of it as something that's up in the sky or virtually anywhere you want it to be, and it's called a cloud. But the cloud has a hard drive. It's not your hard drive, it's the company that you're paying to use their cloud. Now, if you have your own hard drive, then you have your own cloud. But basically, it's a hard drive that you access remotely via the internet and typically through a website. So you will go to whatever it is, www.thegadgetprofessor/cloud, whatever your address is that you configure, and you will actually access this drive. At that point, you'll see all the files that are on there, and if you have 10 movies or 15 movies or photographs or documents, however you put them in folders, you should be able to do two things. One, you should be able to double-click on that and see the actual document. Two, you should be able to right-click on it and download the document. And three, if it's a movie, you should have the ability to download it, which is very simple, but to stream is a little difficult. And most of the devices that I have tried, that's where they fall flat in their face. The only thing to date for me that has worked and worked fairly well is the MediaFire system, which the MediaFire cloud, which we talked about several weeks ago. So I'm still on a quest, and I do have another product that I'm testing out now that works flawlessly so far, and I'll bring that to you in a week, and I think it's the best solution so far. Might even be better, and I think it actually is better than MediaFire. However, let's get back to our Toshiba drive. Now, I bought this one at Sam's Club, and it says USB 3 hard drive, backup, share, and remote access. So one of the neat things about this is it comes with backup software already built into the drive. So I can back up any product I want. I can back up my MacBook Pro if I want. If it's connected to that, I can back up my PC that I'm now on, my Asus computer, my PC at home. It has backup software built right into it. So I back up all my files, and here it is. I could take it with me, and I have protection. I'm backed up. So that's a good thing. And that software works well on that. So you can back up and share remote access all your files. So now I'm thinking, maybe this device is another way to stream. So, okay, access and share your content over the internet. This is formatted for NTFS for Windows XP, Windows 8, Mac, the whole bit. Compatibility may vary on the user's hardware configuration. They always put that in. So that's pretty cool. The other thing that you can do with this is you can schedule backup. So if I want to back up every day of the week, I put it in. I want to back up every day at 9 o'clock at night or 2 o'clock in the morning or once every Saturday, whatever I want to do. I can share my content and I can remote access. Now, how are you going to remote access it? Well, they have to set up their own cloud. What these folks did is actually teamed up with a company called Pogoplug. Now, if you've ever watched The Gadget Professor, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best, I have, at one point in time when Pogoplug first came around, and this is just my opinion, it's just my opinion. When Pogoplug first came out, I used them. They were great. I was able to stream, and I loved it. Then they got a little greedy and started charging for services that were free, which really annoyed me. But it still worked, and I was grandfathered in. And then maybe a year or two later, whatever, it just stopped working, and I continually would buy these Pogoplug devices until they got so greedy that they started charging you a yearly subscription or a monthly subscription to stream. So the bottom line is, on a scale from 1 to 10, my view of the Pogoplug is -10. I absolutely do not want to use it or do not like it. That said, because I'm the Gadget Professor, I have a duty to try out any product that's out there to see if it works. So this is hooked up with Pogoplug, and that rang a couple bells right off the bat. But if I bought this, I got 30 days to try it, and I could return it. So I was curious because I like the form factor. I like Toshiba. They make a great product. I like the form factor of this. I like the fact that they had backup software, and I love the fact that they said I could stream on Pogoplug. So when I hook this up, and it comes with Pogoplug software already on the device, mind you, and you don't have to buy a Pogoplug device, okay? Because typically when you're buying Pogoplug, they sell two things: software, which is the cloud, and hardware, which is a little device that you would plug in any hard drive or USB drive that you want. Then it gets a little crazy because then they charge you by the month to be able to stream. So here we go. I then hooked up the Pogoplug software right off this drive, which worked flawlessly. And believe it or not, if you could see this right here, I don't know if we could zoom in on this, but I'm in the Pogoplug local hookup, if you will. I went on the internet. I went to mypogoplug.com. I typed in my username and password, and that will allow me to do two things. It will allow me to see everything that's on the Pogoplug. And again, there's two sides to the Pogoplug. There we go. Now, let's take a look at this. The first thing you see right off the bat right here is Pogoplug drive. Okay, no drive attached. Well, the drive is definitely attached. No ifs, ands, or buts about it, but it will not be recognized by the Pogoplug software that I'm on the internet. Now, what that means is the local drive, which I'm holding in my hand right here, this is actually, I know it's not plugged in now, but I'm simulating what happened. So this was plugged in, and if I go back to the close-up, it was not recognized, which is very annoying. But if I go to the cloud, okay, you'll notice that if I go to movies, I'm able to stream this movie wirelessly, instantaneously. So that one movie is up on the cloud, and I'm actually able to stream that. There it is. This is streamed off Pogoplug. It's working on the cloud. Now, I'm going to go back to that graphic again. I have to sign in again, unfortunately. Oh, there we go. Okay, so so we're back there. So let's get a close-up of this again, and I'm going to show you the problem. My Pogoplug is not recognized. Pogoplug drive. Now, I don't know if you can throw me up in the corner there, Mike, at the same time. If you can, you can. If you can't, you can't. Not a big deal. But let's go back to camera one for a second. So right there you saw that it was Pogoplug, hard drive not recognized, which means if I want to put 2 terabytes worth of movies on this drive, which is what I want to do, the Pogoplug drive has to be seen for me to stream it. That doesn't work. End of story. It does not work on this Toshiba drive, and that's what it's advertised to do. Secondarily, if I go on to the cloud, okay, that means I have to load each movie individually up to the cloud, which takes a while to load each movie. And now you saw that there were movies in there. There's one movie there, but they limit how much space you can have. It's not unlimited. You don't get unlimited space. Then Pogoplug charges you, I think it's $5 a month or whatever, $49 a year to have X amount of space, which is a royal pain in the neck, and I do not want to do that. So I called Toshiba and asked them what's going on. And I finally got to the tech person, and she said, "Did you install the PC software?" Yes, I did everything that they told me, and it doesn't work, and the drive is brand new. So they told me that I have a defective drive, defective Toshiba drive. They are going to replace it overnight. I'll get a new one tomorrow, and I will try it again. My guess is that it still won't work because something is going on with that Pogoplug software. This is just my opinion. I will find out tomorrow, and I will get back to you next week with the brief report as to whether it works or not. And the reason I don't think it works is I don't think the Pogoplug can interface with this as easily as they say it can. So I want to get to the bottom of it. It's annoying in one way that it works on the cloud, but I'm limited by storage and they're forcing me to pay for that service when I don't want to. That's the whole point of buying their hard drive, because I get 2 terabytes of space. So let's see what happens. The people at Toshiba were very nice, but they were insistent that the drive doesn't work. I maintain that the drive works. They maintain that there's something wrong with the Pogoplug interface on this particular hard drive. We shall see. Meanwhile, the cost of this is actually quite reasonable. If it works, it's a great buy. It's $98 on Amazon Prime, and you can get them in different colors. And again, the drive works. The backup software works flawlessly. But I want to be able to stream, and I don't want to be paying Pogoplug to stream it. Now, the thing that really bugged me is that it said you had a free license on Pogoplug when you purchased this device, but that does not seem to be the case. So I will report back to you. If you're thinking of buying one of these, if you want a backup, it's great. If you want an extra storage drive, it's great. There are significantly cheaper drives out there, such as the Seagate. It's about $69 for a 2 terabyte. So the only reason that I would buy this or recommend that you buy this is if you wanted to stream movies off the Pogoplug interface. But I'll tell you right now, I don't think it works. So we shall find out. And sometimes we have cliffhangers with the Gadget Professor. I don't know what else to tell you, but it shows you what I go through to test these products to bring you the most up-to-date information. I'm very curious to see if the new drive works. And again, we'll get back to you next week. Next week, we're going to have a great show. I have a live interview with a person from Brino, B-R-I-N-N-O. They make some amazing products, and we are going to have the gentleman on who knows all about these, and I think he might even have some discount prices for us. So that will wrap it up this week for the Gadget Professor. Have a great week. Thank you so much for tuning in. So long from the Gadget Professor.
The Gadget Professor is produced by Don Baine, Multimedia Communications, LLC. If you would like your product reviewed on The Gadget Professor or would like to appear on The Gadget Professor, contact us via email at thegadgetprofessor@gmail.com. The opinions expressed on the program by the host, guests, call-in listeners, or chatters are solely the opinions of the original source who expressed them. And thank you for watching The Gadget Professor.